have been promised horse riding lessons, though, and that will be a good thing. But seriously, you folks, you, my colleagues, are truly my best teachers. And I want you to know I'm a willing student, I am listening, but I also have done some of my homework over the last couple of weeks, and if not months. And I have very carefully examined the Tarleton Strategic Plan, which is really intended to guide us at least out to the year 2011 and beyond in some cases. And I know that many of you have participated in the development of that very fine plan. And normally when the president comes in, there would be a high level of concern that I'm going to announce that we're going to throw it all out and we're going to start a whole process all over again. You need not worry. I am not going to do that. In fact, I would say that that probably would constitute some sort of administrative hazing, something that we don't, where's Dr. Mercer, something that we clearly don't want on this campus, any kind of hazing, right? I do believe that the strategic plan provides a framework for understanding this place. It's a blueprint from which we can begin to build, and it's a template for evaluating our progress as we go forward. I doubt, though, that many of you in this room can tick off in rapid succession the key points of the strategic plan. And I must tell you, I think, my perspective, I think the goals are a little bit too cumbersome, a bit overly complex. And I do believe that a plan that is effective has to be one that informs our actions and our decisions each and every day. That means we have to know what it is, and we have to know, and it has to be understandable to us. And so to breathe life into the strategic plan, which has a very, very good basis in it, and to give it the attention that it requires, I've restated it into four key points. And within each, I want you to know this: there is plenty of opportunity, and in fact, I'd say you have an obligation to have a debate and to have discussion. And I am welcoming your observations and thoughts about what I'm going to tell you with regard to those four key points. So the first, then, of the four strategic goals, I've boiled them down to four strategic goals. The first of those is excel in scholarship, teaching, and learning. That should sound pretty familiar because it's in the plan already. This goal requires us to foster an environment that encourages innovation, to engage our students in research and learning, and to nurture programs of national prominence. To engage our students in research, encourage innovation, and to nurture programs of national prominence. And I can tell you, as a parent of two relatively recent college graduates, one 3 weeks ago and one last year, I'm familiar with different learning styles of these different generations because my two students approached learning in two vastly different ways. Clearly, in order to address different learning styles, it means, as part of this plan, that we need robust technology and first-rate facilities in order to accomplish that goal. There's no doubt about it. But we also have to provide opportunities for human connection in that intellectual enterprise. Student involvement in research enhances outcomes for our students and the outputs of the scholarly activity of our faculty. We do already have several nationally prominent programs, and they must be sustained. But we also have some that I believe are ready to break loose, and we have to nurture and grow those as well. I'm eager to learn from you, to hear from you, how we can improve teaching and learning. What skills and resources do you need in order to improve your effectiveness in the classroom, in the laboratory, in your offices, in your studios, wherever it might be? What resources do you need? Do we have the right mix of academic programs on the books right now? Do we have the right mix to meet the needs of our current students as well as those that we expect to come in the years ahead? And how do we maximize the leverage of the resources we have to our greatest efficiency? All important questions that help us address this goal. In the end, this goal is about excelling in our core activities: teaching, learning, and research. The second goal is this: expand our horizons. Expand our horizons. in the spirit of John Tarleton, and we always have to come back to him, I think, we have to ensure access and participation. By that I mean not only the opportunity to enroll, but also the opportunity to graduate. Tarleton can grow. I believe that mightily, and we've been seeing that. But we have to do it by strategic enrollment management so that our students are not only recruited in the door, but retained through to graduation. And I think we have a ways to go on our retention and our graduation rates based on the number that come in the door. To prepare our students for the global economy, we must also expand and enhance cultural competence. We have to foster a curriculum, programs, and a learning environment that values diversity within the student body, our faculty, and our staff. You know, I was very impressed at Convocation with that clear call to our freshmen to commit to integrity, civility, and diversity. What I'd ask you is, what ways do the rest of us recommit to those kinds of values? How do we hold ourselves accountable to the standards that we're expecting from our students for civility, integrity, and diversity? To build a more diverse community, who are we going to recruit to the Tarleton family? Who are we going to recruit to be here with us? What is the quality of the experience of people on this campus that may not look like the majority? How do we be more strategic and more successful as a diverse university? I think those are fundamental questions that address that goal. Then a third strategic goal, I said there are four, is this: encourage leadership, service, and student success. Encourage leadership, service, and student success. You know as well as I do that, I hope you appreciate this, that activities and programs beyond the classroom play a critically important role to the retention and success of our students. Students need to have effective support programs like mentoring and advising, counseling, health and wellness, all of those kinds of things that support them outside the classroom, that make them more successful in the classroom. But it's not only important that we have those kind of programs. We have to find ways to reach our students. They're not always willing to come to the door and let us help them. What are we doing at the university to truly encourage our first-year students to stay from their freshman to the sophomore years? Or for that matter, what are we doing? How are we nurturing our students from their sophomore to their junior, or their junior to their senior years? And are we attending to our graduate students with the same kind of diligence? Retention from year to year is critically important. To me, this is one of those real drivers for our learning at a university. What are we doing to foster an intensely personal, 24/7 learning environment? I have to tell you, one of the, Elizabeth Wallace, wherever you are, there you are. Oh, you're always sitting in the front row. She knows that I have a great deal of sympathy for the idea that students learn best if they live on campus. I believe that it provides the richest kind of environment for our students. And I would love to see a much higher percentage of our students living on campus, because I believe it creates the 24/7 learning environment that a university should be known for. How are we connecting? How are we connecting students to one another and the university, and then both as students, and then as they leave as alumni, how are we connecting them back? That's all important to this. We need to figure out how best to prepare our students for leadership, service, and ultimately a career. And then finally, the fourth strategic goal is this: extend our reach. Extend our reach.